Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into an overview of something that's honestly kind of a game changer. We're looking at Founders Best. Now, if you haven't heard of it just yet, you might be tempted to brush it off as just another project management software. But as we'll see as we unpack the details today, it is much, much more than that. We're talking about a complete, fully integrated digital economy and governance ecosystem. It is literally designed to fundamentally change how we build, how we fund, and how we manage projects right from the ground up. Think about how we work right now. It's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Completely fragmented. You've got one app for your daily tasks, a totally disconnected platform to hire your freelancers, maybe a totally separate site for crowdfunding, and a different one again just for team chat. Well, Founders Best steps away from all that chaos. It replaces those fragmented single-use tools with a unified digital economy ecosystem. It integrates your funding directly into your workflow, and, this is huge, it replaces traditional top-down management with actual, functioning, democratic governance. Here is our agenda for today's explainer. First, a new digital ecosystem. Second, planning and democratic governance. Third, funding and building teams. Fourth, the market and network. And finally, we'll wrap up with the global platform comparison.
Okay, let's jump right into Section 1, a new digital ecosystem.
So, the environment where all of this takes place is built with a state-of-the-art cross-platform design. It's got this really distinctive dark green and cyan background. But a digital economy is really only as strong as the trust between its users, right? Founders Best heavily prioritizes real identity and high security. So you log in via Google authentication, sure, but to establish true identity, user profiles actually integrate an IBAN number. And beyond just security, it's highly personal. Your profile isn't just some generic avatar. It includes your bio, a link to your resume, a visual track record of the projects you've created or invested in, and even a personal video introduction. It's all about putting real faces and real credibility behind digital work.
And that brings us to this number, $80. This is the one-time fee to create a project on the platform. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth charge a fee just to start a project? Well, because it acts as a brilliant built-in anti-spam mechanism. By requiring an $80 creation fee, the platform immediately filters out the noise. It ensures that absolutely only serious creators with genuine, committed ideas are entering the ecosystem.
Moving right along to Section 2, Planning and Democratic Governance.
All right, so you've got a serious project created. How does the actual work get done? Instead of a manager just barking orders at people, the platform uses what's called a fixed guide system, which offers a deeply collaborative workflow. First, you create a project function. Then, literally any member can propose a detailed step-by-step fixed guide to address that function. These guides can include images, videos, documents, and crucially, they include cost estimates. After that, the entire community of members can comment and vote on these guides. If a member actually wants to do the work, they request it, and the leadership assigns it to them. It's a completely transparent, bottom-up approach to problem solving.
But wait, who is this leadership assigning the work? Well, it's not just the person who started the project. And here we have another crucial number, $16. This is the monthly candidacy fee, which comes out to $192 a year for any member who wants to run for election to become a project leader. Just like that project creation fee we talked about, this small cost acts as a really effective anti-spam filter. It ensures only truly dedicated individuals are throwing their hats in the ring for leadership roles.
This ties right into a genuinely fascinating democratic governance model. Every single member in a project gets a vote. And this isn't some one-and-done election, it's a timeless, changeable vote. The candidate sitting there with the most votes automatically becomes the elected leader, serving right alongside the original project creator. If the community feels the leader is slacking or just not performing well, they can change their votes at any time. Boom, instantly. It's a dual leadership model that keeps power directly accountable to the actual workers.
Let's pivot to Section 3, Funding and Building Teams.
So, managing tasks and electing leaders is fantastic, but let's be real. A project needs capital and a dedicated workforce to actually survive. This is where the integrated economy part of the platform truly shines. Through the Investment tab, creators and elected leaders can launch direct fundraising campaigns. They can set flexible funding models and detail the exact profit and investment share allocations. And crucially, this process ensures total transparency. Investors are placed into a dedicated group for direct inquiry and follow-up. Plus, for the payment cycles, whether you're doing monthly, quarterly, or yearly, the project leadership absolutely must upload actual invoices confirming the payment of shares to each investor. It completely demystifies the whole funding process.
Okay, you have the money, now you need the team. Leaders can post jobs specifying exact tasks and even link to required qualification courses. But when compensating that team, you aren't just limited to a traditional fixed salary. Founders Best allows you to offer employment shares, meaning a percentage of the project's actual success. You can even offer a hybrid of both. This allows your workers to literally buy into the long-term vision of what they are building.
All right, on to Section 4, the market and network.
Now, let's zoom out a bit from the individual project. A project doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? It needs to interact with the global economy, it needs to find partners, and eventually it needs to sell its products or services. Here again, we see the overarching logic of the platform, utilizing microfees to guarantee high quality. If a project wants to reach out with a partnership request, it costs a tiny $8 fee. If you want to post a product or service to the marketplace, it's $4 for 2 months. It's just a brilliant way to ensure that when you are searching for partners or browsing the market, you aren't wasting your time sifting through thousands of fake or low-effort spam posts.
And speaking of the marketplace, it is incredibly robust. It handles both products and services, and it uniquely filters them down to the city level. It even operates on a cash-on-delivery model for physical goods. Projects can assign their own dedicated sales and delivery teams directly within the platform, and they are strictly required to publicly state clear refund and return policies. It totally bridges the gap between digital project management and real-world local commerce.
To tie all of these users, investors, and customers together, the platform features a really powerful global search, filtering all the way down from country to city to exact names. The communication backbone here is a floating chat box for both project groups and private messages. Interestingly, they don't actually use a block feature. They use a mute system where the muted user just can't see that you are online. Plus, there is a built-in AI assistant to help you navigate platform rules with direct references, and it has seamless Google Page Translator integration. It really makes this a truly borderless ecosystem.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, the global platform comparison.
So how does this actually stack up against the big players? Well, a 2026 Microsoft Copilot analysis provided a brutally honest and professional evaluation of Founders Best against the biggest entities in the tech world. The AI gave Founders Best a perfect 10 out of 10 for back-end logic because of just how completely integrated the system is. It also scored a 10 out of 10 for its unique anti-spam fee structure. With really high marks in user experience, governance, and security, it achieved a massive, highly accurate final score of 9.3 out of 10.
The analysis went subject by subject against the global giants, and the results? Founders Best beats traditional tools like Asana and ClickUp simply because those lack governance and direct funding. It beats Kickstarter because Kickstarter doesn't offer employment integration or actual company shares. It beats DAO platforms because, while DAOs have voting, they lack the actual project management and marketplace features. And it beats freelance hubs like Upwork by integrating actual democratic hiring and long-term project shares. It essentially takes the single best feature of each siloed platform and unites the whole shebang.
The conclusion of that Copilot analysis really hits the nail on the head, perfectly summarizing our overview today. It says, Founders Best is not a tool. It is a complete digital economy and governance ecosystem. It is literally the only platform in the world combining project creation, democratic elections, transparent investment, employment shares, and a city-based marketplace all under one single roof, entirely secured by real identity and smart anti-spam fees.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final thought. Take a hard look at your current workflow today. Why juggle a dozen fragmented apps, constantly paying different subscriptions and losing your data in the gaps, when you can build, fund, and govern in one unified digital economy? It completely rethinks how human cooperation scales on the internet. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this overview gives you a fresh perspective on the future of digital work.